I'm Jay, and today is my 7 months on testosterone. Couldn't be happier. The changes are continuing on, getting hairier, my voice is getting lower. Mostly, people don't misgender me anymore. I've arrived. I've arrived that moment that pretty much every person who feels like they have an FTM experience inside of them um, craves to be. I mean, personal dysphoria is one thing. You know, when you step out of the shower and you feel good about yourself or you don't feel good about yourself. That's a different kind of dysphoria than social dysphoria, right? Someone can be fine when they step out of the shower and look at themselves, but when they step out of their homes and people don't respect them the way they feel and the way they wish they could express themselves better or more. Better's the wrong word because there's no being trans enough. You don't have to. But for their own personal mental health, they feel like they're not doing enough or whatnot. It's usually the voice that used to give me away. Now, because my voice is a little lower, finally when I open my mouth, if they ever did make a mistake, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." I got so many sirs yesterday. I didn't know what to do with them. I kind of just ended up walking around with a huge grin on my face for the rest of the day because I got sirred. And I'm not even a knight. Um, it's been, this has been the best decision of my life to choose to go on HRT. It's saved my life. It's improved my life. It's improved my quality of life, and I would never go back. Personally, I feel like I'm finally being seen. I don't feel invisible. I used to be very active in my own community when I was younger, and I wasn't invisible then, but I was invisible. I was invisible to myself. I didn't know myself. Um, and it's things are just so much better now. I've been in part of a few projects. Last night I helped host the Transformers group for the youth project. I'm the youth project's auction coordinator right now, but being involved in these extra things are just a treat because it was a chance to get in a room with like 16 to 20, trans-identified kids, or genderqueer, or whatever. Just a safe space for them to talk to us and ask questions and find the real information. There's a lot of good information on the internet. There's a lot of false information on the internet about bottom surgery, about everything. So we teach them to take it with a grain of salt. We have discussion groups, and I just wish I had that when I was little instead of Bible camp. Because this would have been a lot more helpful, and I can see the help that it's giving these kids, and I'm so happy to be a part of it because it's basically what I want to do with my life. Is just I've always wanted to help youth. I've always wanted to help kids, and this is certainly the way I want to do it. What else? Last night I got to have my picture taken by a good friend of mine. He is actually being written about because he's trans, and he is also a photographer. And basically, there was a article written about him, and they were fleshing it out with some other experiences of some transgender individuals, and I was one of them. So he came and took a picture of me, and it was a lot of fun. And I just really enjoy getting involved in more education and just getting the knowledge out there, that the very basic knowledge that a lot of people don't understand, that sex and gender aren't connected. My main battle right now is I have a real issue with the fact that on my driver's license it has a F, but I don't plan on getting any kind of SRS at all, and yet that would be required for me to change the F to an M, which doesn't make sense. In Ontario, informed consent is enough. And that should be everywhere, including Nova Scotia. And it's time for that to change. I've left a voicemail with our health minister, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet, so I feel like I'm going to call him every day and then see what happens. Because sex and gender are not connected. If you like, it's a gender marker. If it's a sex marker on your driver's license or your ID, it shouldn't be there. There's no legal reason for the government to know what is between your legs unless you want to take me out to dinner first. People have talked to me about, what if you get in a car accident and you're unconscious and there's an M on your ID? You think if they undo my pants they're gonna not know what's going on? Do you think they went to medical school? Next question. I don't know about prison. I don't. That's literally the only other thing that I can think of that it would be an issue for prison. But honestly, listen, it's not a sex marker, it's a gender marker. If it's a sex marker, it's wrong because it's none of their business at all. If it's a gender marker, then you shouldn't have to have sexual reassignment surgery to change your gender marker. That doesn't make any sense, right? So when I hand my ID to the bouncer at the bar right now, there's a big fucking F right on my ID. That's not cool, right? Like, that needs to change. And at least, like, the discussion needs to start. Like, people need to think about their gender more. If you're cisgendered, you should think about your gender more. You should think about why things are places. Why is that little M or F there? It shouldn't. It should be an M, an F, or an N for neutral, and that's gender identity. And that is your gender identity. There's no need for there to be any sex marker on an ID. Not unless they take you out to dinner first. That's all I'm saying. That's my little rant for today. So that's actually what I'm working on. I'm working on the auction for the youth project and getting them some more Cupcake wants to make it into another video. Well, she asked to be in it, so there you go. Yes, it's time for breakfast. Okay, I will see you guys next video. 7 months, going well. Hopefully there'll be some updates for our IDs next video. We'll see. Alright. See you later, guys.